Hello and welcome to Cocktails with a Twist of History, your digital destination for all things cocktails. Well, you dirty rat. It's a famous line from a James Cagney movie called The Public Enemy from 1931. Don't be a dirty rat. Please send a link of this show to somebody that you know so that they can enjoy Cocktails with a Twist of History as well. Anyway, James Cagney was born in 1899 and he dies on March 30th, 1986. That's one tough guy. He's one of the early people who portrayed the ultimate tough guy. Orson Welles describes him as, quote, maybe the greatest actor who ever appeared in front of a camera, unquote. The Public Enemy was James Cagney's fifth film, and it became one of his most influential gangster movies of the period. It was the start of the pre-gangster movie and defines the genre. It's the start of them all. The film costs $151,000 to make, and it becomes the first low-budget film to gross more than $1 million. There was a famous grapefruit scene where he attacks his girlfriend with a grapefruit. It looks tougher than it sounds. The scene was actually a practical joke that Cagney and co-star Meg Clark decided to play on the crew while the cameras were rolling. The director, Will Willman, liked it so much that he left it in. Okay, I have been talking way too long without a drink in my hand. Let's make a drink called Cagney's Breakfast. So Cagney was of Irish descent, so we are going to use some Irish whiskey. Here we go. It is a shaken drink because it's going to have grapefruit in it. So here we go. It is going to need a full 2 ounces of Irish whiskey. Let's do this. Somebody gave me a small bottle of Irish whiskey, and I'm going to be using that. There are a few others that I do have. There are some really interesting brands out there. Okay, we need an ounce of grapefruit juice. We're going to need 1/4 ounce of a ginger syrup. Ginger syrup is really just ginger with sugar that is cooked together. It has a little bit of a very intense flavor, so don't use too much of that. We're going to need, it says two bar spoons of a hot sauce. I am going to use a hot bitters that I have, and I'm going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drops of that. Remember, bitters also, you don't want to use too much of it. Okay, there's a lot of interesting flavors in there, but you need a little bit of simple syrup as well. We're going to put some simple syrup there. And very interesting, first time in this show, I am going to be using cucumber. Sliced cucumber that goes inside of it. I don't know, I never really thought the cucumber gave something too much flavor, but we're going to try. It sounds interesting. Usually it goes in with gin, cucumber, but here it's with Irish whiskey. Okay, we are going to put in our ice into our shaker, and again, make sure you put in a lot of ice into that shaker, and we're going to put some ice into our glass, and we are going to shake. Here we go. Remember, put your finger on the top. This one could use a little bit of shaking there. It's actually a shake and dump because you want those cucumbers inside this thing. So hold on, we're going to put out that ice. And here we go. This is called a shake and dump because you shake and then you dump. So the ice goes in with it. Look at that, how perfect that is. That is about to fall and make a big noise. We don't want that. And now for a garnish, I have a cucumber slice. And look at that. That is called a Cagney's Breakfast. That looks delicious. Oh, wow. Very fascinating. Different. You want something different? This is one thing you should try. This is interesting, but delicious, delicious cocktail. Wow. That is good. Well, so, to me, some of the scenes that James Cagney did were, they had that image and that look on his face very similar to Anthony Hopkins in The Silence of the Lambs. It's that Hannibal Lecter kind of intelligent but very, very devastating kind of stare. Some of the early gangster movies were things like Little Caesar. A little later you had things like Scarface, and then they redid Scarface as well. This is in that same theme. The director, William Wellman, takes a more reserved tone in this one. Doesn't have a lot of shooting for this kind of movie, but he has some of the coldest, most hard-boiled action of the pre-gangster era. James Cagney's eulogy was delivered by his close friend, President Ronald Reagan. His pallbearers included boxer Floyd Patterson, dancer Mikhail Baryshnikov, who says that he hoped to play Cagney on Broadway one day, actor Ralph Bellamy, and director Milos Forman. Also, Governor Mario Cuomo and Ed Koch were also at the service. That's some lineup. Well, like always, if you know other pieces of the history, we want to know about it. Please send it to us by email. You can put it in the comment, or you can tell it to the bottle. Also, we want you to like, to follow, to subscribe. We want you to put something in the comment and send a link of it to a friend so that they can enjoy cocktails with a twist of history. Thank you.